unfortunately, I'm going to have a bit of an unpopular opinion about this. I'm not going to lie. So this is about this kid, right? 18-year-old kid who's been unfortunately sentenced now in Dubai. I think he's spending a year in prison there. But essentially, to give you a little bit of give you a little bit of a synopsis, an overview. This kid went to Dubai on holiday with his parents. Ended up meeting a babe out there that he liked, who's 17. He's 18. They end up, getting close, so much so they end up having sex out there. The girl's parents find out when they get back home and they're not happy about it. So the girl's parents report the kid to the police because I guess in Dubai it's not legal for kids or teenagers to have sex. I don't know what the rules are, don't ask me, but something along those kind of lines. So the girl's parents weren't happy that she was having sex with this boy, so they then reported him to the police, and now this kid is now in prison in Dubai. So everyone's kind of outraged about it. Obviously, makes sense. The girl's mum seems like she's not the greatest mum in the world, right? Seems a bit like a bad person. But again, in this situation, because I'm a follower and a stickler for extreme ownership, a part of me thinks this kid's got to learn the hard way, innit? Like sometimes you just got to chill and relax. Sometimes you just do too much and you end up in trouble. And I think in this type of situation, even though the mum is clearly the one to blame, he did nothing wrong. They had a consensual relationship. They both agreed to what they wanted to agree to do. The mum did the badness. I get it. But in this situation, I feel like the kid needs to learn a very, very harsh lesson. And to be honest, he's probably going to grow up, a lot through this experience. It's probably going to serve him well further down in his life later on, that he's now had this situation, happen to him so early in his life. It's probably going to do him the world of good for the long term, you'd imagine. But a part of me feels like this kid maybe should take accountability for this and just kind of take the L on the chin, sit down for the year, maybe get out on good behavior and under the year, and then continue on his life. Because in all actuality, it kind of is what it is, really. If that country has rules and has laws that that don't allow teenagers to have sex like that, don't do it. It's the same thing that happens. Remember earlier in the Dubai thing, I think maybe around the pandemic, there was a bunch of British people going to Dubai, and couples, like married couples, that were having sex on beaches and shit, and getting arrested and thrown in prison. It is what it is, man. You go to certain countries and certain things don't run. You just shouldn't, you shouldn't bring, or you shouldn't do the things that you normally do at home to other countries, especially if they're very strict religious, whatever rules that they have there. Just abide by them and you'll be fairly okay. Like if this kid would have just, hanged out with a girl, hugged her, kissed her and shit, I don't think anything would have happened. But the fact that they engaged in sex, and it seems like Dubai is a little bit, finicky about that sort of shit, he's in prison for a year. So I personally think, although the mum is to blame, in this situation, the kid just got to hold the L. It is what it is, isn't it? Let's read the article here. It says an 18-year-old British man who had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old British girl in Dubai while the pair on a holiday with their families has been sentenced to 1 year in prison. Marcus Fakana of Tottenham, North London, began the secretive holiday romance in September with another Londoner who is now aged 18. After returning home and seeing pictures and chats, the girl's mother reported the relationship to Dubai police, who then arrested Fakana at his hotel. Sex with another person aged under 18 is illegal in Dubai. So even if two 16-year-olds have sex in Dubai, they both go in prison. Cool. Campaign group detained in Dubai called the judgment utter disgrace and said Fakana would appeal against unreasonable sentences. Is it really an utter disgrace if their law doesn't permit people under 18 to have sex? What's the disgrace about it? Yes, maybe it's not in line with our Western values or our Western world way of life, but if in that country you're not allowed to do that, why would you just do that and then get upset when they punish you for doing that? It doesn't make any sense in my regard. Don't get me wrong, the mum is crazy. The mum definitely is a bit unhinged. And to be honest as well, the really sad thing about the situation is that this isn't going to stop her daughter from being promiscuous. This isn't going to be her last sexual partner. So I think the mum doing this, hoping that it's going to scare her daughter to like stop having sex with guys, it's not going to work. It's almost similar to parents that send their girls to like all girls school in the hope that they're not going to be around boys. It's like, I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, especially in secondary school, the reputation about girls that go to all girls school was that they were all like turbo whores, turbo sluts. Like some of the most like craziest stories that you'd hear ever about girls always involved girls that went to all girls schools, especially in London anyway, at least. But the thinking of parents, especially parents of black girls, parents of Asian girls, parents of, you know, whatever else in between, girls, white, whatever, was that, oh, if I send them to an all girls school, it's going to make them, like, you know, proper and stuff. They're not going to be into boys. They're focusing on education, to be around other girls. It's like, no, 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 no. If anything, all girls schools, you know, are probably the most toxic place if you want your girl not to get corrupted. So I think this mum, you know, basically getting her daughter's holiday romance kid arrested isn't really going to do what she thinks it's going to do. But like I said before, I think the kid needs to take a lot of accountability in that he put himself in a situation. It is what it is, brother. Like, you knew, like, not that he should have known the rules at 18 years old, going on holiday with your parents, but there's also a part of me that thinks, this is going to be mad to say also, but you're on holiday with your parents, isn't it? Like, you're on your first holiday with your parents. Like, do you really need to be smashing birds? Do you really need to be smashing birds though? Really? Let's be real. Because how about this ends up with you getting her pregnant? Then what? You know, do you really need to be smashing birds? Can you not just have a, you know, some fucking, could you guys just not like swap saliva, sorry, for like an hour straight? Or maybe that's what kids are doing now. Maybe kids at 17, 18 nowadays, because of the access they have to, you know, adult entertainment, maybe nowadays the version of like finger banging and kissing is basically going all the way. Maybe if you're 17, 18 now, what we used to do as kids, like, was so exciting. Oh my God, she touched my pee through my trousers. Oh my God, she let me kiss. Oh my God, she let me, you know what I mean? All that shit, that's not a big deal anymore. Maybe when you're 17 now, kids are like, nah, we're going, you know what I mean? We're going Pound Town, which is flipping crazy to think about, especially if you're a parent out there and you've got a 17-year-old, you probably know deep down that, yeah, this girl is banging. Like, you know it's happening. So maybe that's what makes it a bit different. But I just think if you're on holiday with your parents, I don't know, man. It's a bit, you know, just you're on holiday with your parents, man. Have some, I don't know. Maybe it's my Christian side of me coming up. It's like, you know, just for that time you're out with your parents, just, I don't know, you can have your little kissy kiss, holdy hands and shit. But do you really need to be smashing? I don't know. The organisation, which helps foreigners abroad and is an international authority on UAE law, added that Fakana felt abandoned by the British government. A UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office spokesperson said, "We are supporting a British man in UAE and in contact with his family. The Dubai Public Prosecution Office has been approached for comment, but previously said its legal system is committed to protecting the rights of all individuals and ensuring impartial judicial proceedings." Exactly. Rada Sterling, the founder of the chief executive of detained in Dubai, said Fakana had been unable to leave the country since September, was desperately hoping to return home this week, but prosecutor mishandling of the first stage of the case meant it wasn't heard as a misdemeanor when it should have been. The family has been issued a plea for Dubai ruler Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum to spare Marcus consensual sex with another British citizen. But that's the thing, the law doesn't say consensual or not consensual. It just says if you're under 18 you cannot have sex. That's the law. Like, I don't understand what the issue is here. Like, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. If anything, this is one of the craziest examples of post-nut clarity, in it. This is one of the craziest examples of post-nut clarity. Like, in the moment, it probably was amazing. You know, there's nothing better sometimes than holiday romances, especially when you leave them there. I think holiday romances that you try to like hold on to or try to resurrect when you come back home always, you know, end in failure and are never quite the same. But an actual legit holiday romance is, you know, there's something quite special and magical about it. But Jesus Christos, bro, imagine this post-nut clarity. Now you're in a prison in Dubai and you're 18 years old. Whew. And he looks like a good kid, man. Looks like a good kid. He looks like a fucking good kid, you know? Like, I don't think he's probably been in trouble here in the UK. Probably hasn't been arrested, you know, let alone in trouble in school, and then now you're in a prison in Dubai. Wow. Wow. Miss Sterling told the BBC that the teenager will be deported following his sentence. She added, "I'm not sure this is a law that they should be upholding to this extent. Custodial sentence for consensual sex with two people, tourists, who were only supposed to be there for a short time does not warrant a year in jail. Doesn't warrant tearing his family apart and ruining his 18-year-old's life." It's not going to ruin his life. Relax. He's 18, man. It's not gonna ruin his life at all. He does a quick little 1-year bird in a Dubai prison. He'll put a bit of hair on his chest, and legit, he's probably gonna come out there a way more mature guy than he would have ever been if he would have stayed here. He's gonna learn so much. life lessons so much, because for sure there'll be guys, for sure, don't get me wrong, hear this out, for sure there'll be some Akis in that prison that will tell him the same thing that I'm saying now. There'll be some uncles in there. There'll be some uncles in that flipping prison who'll be like, you know what? As bad mind and as evil as this girl's mother was, you are also to blame in this situation. You did too much. You're holding with your parents and you're out here trying to smash. Relax. You did too much, brother. You are also to blame. You should have had a glass of water. You should have got some fresh air. You should have done some burpees in your room. You should have probably, fucking grabbed the VPN and put on Pornhub or something. You should have relaxed. You shouldn't have went. You shouldn't have gone. You shouldn't have did that. And you wouldn't have been in the situation that you're in now. You kind of have yourself to blame. You know the rules. The rules are there. You see how people get locked up in Dubai for smoking weed, for fucking in a dance floor, fucking on the beach, fighting. That place they don't play, especially when it comes to blacks. They don't play, especially when it comes to Europeans anyway. They want to set a bit of a precedent. They don't want you to go there and just turn their country into some mad thing. Do you know what I mean? You can go there and enjoy, cool, whatever, but you can't break our laws. You break our laws, you get punished. And the guy said it before, like, they pride themselves on being impartial. The rules apply across the board. Doesn't matter if you're 18, if you're a super celebrity, the rules apply. And I think this kid only has himself to blame, in my personal opinion. So I think he's going to learn a lot from that year in prison, but I also don't think it's going to destroy his life. I think people are being a little bit dramatic with that regard. But, free him anyway. But I think he has to learn. And then the update is this following. Let me come home. Teen sentenced to Dubai pleads. I don't think it works that way, brother, but hey, you can still ask. 18-year-old British man sentenced to a year in prison for sexual relations with a 17-year-old British girl in Dubai has appealed to the Emirates ruler to let me go home. Marcus Fakana from North London began secretly holiday romance with September with another London who is now 18. The Prime Minister recognises an extremely distressing situation for Marcus' family. Speaking in temporary accommodation while on bail, Fakana told campaigner detained in Dubai, "My family now are devastated and in shock. I never intended to break the law. I just wanted to bust her nut, man. This girl was so nice. She was such a leng ting. She had those fucking, she had those fucking things on the side of her hair. She had those fucking stupid little stars that girls put on to protect that, to put on top of a fucking spot to look cute. She had a little tooth gem. She was wearing this amazing little fucking crop top. She had the biggest bunda I've ever seen in my life. I just couldn't resist, man. Well, now here you are, innit? Here you are, bro. Self-control is the best control. I never intended to break the law. It didn't occur to me at the time for that I'm sorry. I'm asking His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum to please forgive me and pardon me. Let me go home. Please give me my life back. I'm sorry to laugh, but Jesus Christ. Please give me my life back. Nah, nigga. You went to bust a nut. This is your life, man. This is your life now. It's what happens when you bust nuts. Every time he busts a nut now, he's going to think, oh shit. You're going to think twice. You're going to fucking think twice now. On Wednesday, detained in Dubai called the judgment utter disgrace and said Fakana from Tottenham would appeal against the unreasonable sentence. Both teenagers are on holiday. To be fair, I'm surprised they haven't really, maybe they should be campaigning more against the mum. That's what they should be campaigning against. All this pressure shouldn't be going to fucking Dubai to let him go. Yeah, I understand he's in prison there and they want to get him released. But they should be putting a lot more public pressure on the mum. That's what they should be doing. Let's put a lot more public pressure on the mum. Like, why is the mum of the daughter getting away with this in public? Is it because she's a woman? Like, that's who they should be going after. Like, let's go after the mum. Let's go after the mum who, in order to kind of punish her daughter and to kind of make herself feel better, she got that kid in trouble, which isn't going to stop anything. Like, if that girl's destined to be a whore, she'll be a whore. If that girl's destined to have other sexual partners, she'll have other sexual partners. Her mum throwing this kid in prison involuntarily or voluntarily isn't going to help. It really isn't going to help anything. She thinks she's stopping something, but it's not. Her kid's not going to be a nun because she did this. It's not going to happen. If anything, her kid's going to end up despising her mum even more so, or maybe not even more so. Maybe the relationship was pretty fine and now she's fucked up the relationship with her daughter just so she can feel better at night about her daughter having sex with somebody. It's like, come on, man, grow up. Really grow up. Really grow up. The 18-year-old's parents have returned to London after the holiday to resume their jobs in the warehouse as a cleaner to help pay for his temporary accommodation in Dubai. Yo, man, this kid, bro. if this was me, the amount of trouble I'd be like, if this was me, right? The amount of like, if this was me, most likely my parents would do the same thing. They would try to fight to get me out there. But then once I'm free, the amount of trouble I'd be in, the amount of beats I would get, that's the thing that will set apart like what type of parents they are. They'd fight for me to get out. They'd be campaigning for me, praying for me, petitioning, all this malarkey. But then once I'm free, the beats that I would get for making them have to work overtime, for making them have to give all their money that they would want to spend on buying stuff for themselves, on buying food for the house, on just traveling, doing their thing. Imagine the amount of money that they would have to, you know, save up. They have to break their back working jobs that they hate anyway to then pay for my accommodation while I'm out of this foreign country. They will not let me forgive it. They would not let me forget it. I'll be getting elbows, knees, wooden spoons, belts, everything across the fucking back and the head. And well deserved as well for making your parents who are, you know, who already had to work really hard to save up to get you guys to go out there in the first place. Because I don't know, it's not, maybe it's me, but you know, in the areas that I grew up in and the time that I grew up in, like there wasn't a lot of families, especially African families, who would go on holiday with their kids like that. Like it's only ones that really had money. Like most of the time, you know, maybe your parents will be able to save a little bit for you to go to a little Calais trip, a little Paris trip here and there. But actual legit holidays with your parents when you're black, African and shit, it didn't really exist. Maybe later on down the line, if you had money, you can take your parents out on holiday, but it doesn't really exist. So if they did make the effort to take you out or to take you on holiday and pay for your flights or whatever, that meant they really saved. They really broke their backs to save that money, to work hard to get that money in the first place. And then for you to go there and, you know, end up hooking up with some girl and then it turns out to this situation, that's why you gotta move better, man. You just gotta move better, man. Move maybe in silence or whatever. But I just think that kid has, you know, he's got to take his accountability of his actions, and you know, maybe next time not end up in a situation. Downing Street spokesperson said the Foreign Office is in regular contact with his family and his legal team at this difficult time. He's not currently detained. The consular officials are supporting him throughout this period and will continue to do so. The government of Dubai previously said under UAE law, the girl is legally classified as a minor, and in accordance with proceedings or procedures recognized internationally, her mother, being the legal guardian, filed a complaint. See, that's what I mean. Why don't they go after the woman? Go after the mum. The mum clearly is the one that is in the wrong here. She's the one that fucked up. She's the one that got this kid in trouble. Even though what they did is illegal, it was consensual. They're basically the same age. So the people should be going after the mum, not Dubai. Dubai's legal system is committed to protecting the rights of all individuals and ensuring impartial judicial proceedings. The BBC has approached it for further comment. That's the thing. Everyone complains about you know, diddlers. Everyone complains about, you know, PDFs getting light sentences and shit. Then you go to a country where they are very clear, are very black and white about how they approach these type of things, and now everyone wants to debate. Everyone now wants to, no, let's change the rules. That's not fair. It's like, what do you want? What do you want? You can't have it all. If you want a country where they're really strict about these things, this is what happens. That now you have to, you know, have conversations with your own kids. Can you have that conversation? Will they listen to you? Like that remains to be said, or that remains to be seen. Rada Sterling, the founder, the chief executive of Detain in Dubai, which helps foreigners abroad, is an international authority on UAE law, told the BBC that Fakana sentence was unfathomable. Instead of being a detainee in Dubai, there should be there should be a charity set up to educate people about how to behave. This thing of like, oh, let's just get people out of prison because they went to a country and they weren't aware of the rules and they broke it and now they're in prison. Bro, you're in prison because you broke the rules. If you don't break the rules, you don't go to prison. Like, just learn what the rules are, be aware of it, be conscious of it, and act accordingly. People just go into these different countries, different parts of the world that have a completely different way of life and expecting to flipping exist the same. Do exactly the same things they do back at home. I don't understand it. It's like going to someone's house and just treating like it's your house. No, brother. Like, act accordingly, man. Know where you're at. Do you know what I mean? Read the fucking room. Jesus Christ, brother. Honestly, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, again, like, he's a young kid. I feel bad for him. Heart goes out to him and shit. But sometimes you got to learn the hard way, man. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way. So keep your head up, Marcus. Keep your head up. Free you and all that. But it is what it is, bro. You got to take that one on the chin. You got to take that one on the chin.